Hello, my name is Jamie Soja, and I'm a photographer here in San Luis Obispo. Happy to give you some lessons for the County of San Luis Obispo libraries. And this is the second part, and we'll be talking about composition. Composition is the combination of everything you see in a photo and how the aspects interact with each other. Textures, colors, scents, and depth, and shapes are all ingredients in the recipes of what makes a good photo. What makes a good composition is subjective, just like in paintings or songs. There are tried and true methods to taking well-composed photos that are taught in photography classes. Even the best photographers have been known to break these rules, coming up with something innovative. Photography can be a very intuitive art form with quick actions that may have taken years of practice to develop. The goal is to be able to draw from these past experiences, skills, and personal preferences to take photos that you want on the spur of the moment. Sometimes it's hard to explain why you might like a composition, like the way the light falls on a subject, the look on someone's face, the color of the sky, etc. People are the most common subject in photography. As we know from seeing models and actors, people convey emotion, inspire ideas, and personal associations through how they look. The best photos of people capture emotion, often through the eyes, and how their body is positioned. In general, you want to focus on the eyes for this reason, and make sure they are sharply in focus. The background, objects, and what they are doing or holding can completely change an image and convey a different message. When I photographed Pulitzer Prize-winning historian David Mccullough, he was on a book tour in support of his New York Times bestseller, The Wright Brothers. I was given a few minutes to take some portraits of him. Mccullough has done hundreds of photos and video shoots in his life, so he was at ease from the start. We were backstage at the Fox Theater in Redwood City, and I noticed some old hats, props for a play, and asked if he would consider putting one on. He looked at the hats and gleefully picked one up and said, "This is a bowler hat, just like Orville Wright, the central subject in his book, wore." Just adding that hat made him have a happy expression, added meaning, and added an intriguing visual element. I encourage you to play around with adding or removing elements from a photo to experiment with different looks. Understanding composition and perspective is an essential part of being a good photographer. What you omit from a composition can be as important to the image as what you include. The subject should be the main focus, and other elements shouldn't distract from the main subject. Think about all the aspects of the composition, not just the foreground subject. Layering the images with your foreground and background elements can really make the subject stand out. Changing your camera settings can help to blur out distracting elements of the background. Sometimes you can move your subject or move yourself to get a different angle and background. Trying out different angles, including inventive and eye-catching ones, can make your photos stand out and showcase your creativity. Practice picturing what the image will look like with different settings. Try envisioning how something looks from a different angle before you move to your next position for a different photo. The first time I photographed President Obama was at Facebook HQ in 2011. At the end of the shoot, most of the photographers were all grouped to one side of the stage, which was closer to Obama and Zuckerberg. I guessed at the end of the event they would stand up and shake hands, and the best angle would be from the back of the room for that shot. I anticipated the end of the talk and moved to the position that would give me that line of sight I envisioned, and I was able to get the shot. Every photo doesn't need to be taken straight on with the subject in the middle, though that often is a good method. One of the most well-known composition guidelines is the rule of thirds. If you picture a photo split into 9 parts, 3 up and down and 3 side to side, the intersecting points of the lines are the places to consider putting key elements of the composition, such as the face and eyes. The horizontal lines going through the middle of the photo can be used to line up the horizon, etc. This is a good method to practice. That being said, rules in art are made to be broken. I took a trip to Eagle Rock in Morro Bay, and I'm going to go over some of my thought process behind the photos and demonstrate how to tell a story with a collection of images. And I'm using the free Adobe Camera app we went over in Lesson 1. A great way to show where you are is with an interesting sign that shows some of the scenery around it. I used the rule of thirds to frame the shot and decrease the shutter speed to make it a little brighter. I like to take photos of larger things and smaller things, wider views and more focused views. Cell phones can often get very close to small objects like this beetle. I adjusted the shutter speed for the bright sunlight and focused on the path on the left side. The shot combines something close up and very far away. I wanted to make sure that I got the top of the mountain in the frame, as well as the fog rolling in. I like how the sage plant draws your eye to the mountain. You might like the way a shot looks vertically and not horizontally. This was the case for this composition. The Adobe Camera app can be very useful for manually controlling the settings. When the contrast is very high between the darks and the brights, you can choose what to expose for. All the photos used in this video series were taken by me, Jamie Soja. Thank you.